Hello and welcome. I'm Marna, and I'd like to share some of my experience stories with you. They might remind you of some of your own experiences, which I'd love for you to share with me in the comments. I'll start with a little background. I'm 71 years old, and my husband passed away almost 4 years ago. I've been through transitions all my life, and more recently around with cancer, and then selling my home. I should mention I'm also responsible for my husband's 85-year-old handicapped sister and our youngest daughter. They both live with me, so I'm not totally alone. A friend of mine told me once that I was a survivor. That was back in my 30s when I was going through a divorce. The phrase survivor annoyed me a little at the time, but I didn't tell her that. Being labeled a survivor is similar to being labeled strong. It means they're relieved that they won't have to worry about you too much, and they won't have to spend too much time comforting you about whatever it was you survived. Being a strong person means you learn to go through hard things alone, and not only that, you survive by learning. I don't actually resent that. I kind of prefer it because it means freedom. I don't get hovered around, given too much guidance and advice. I like to ask for advice when I need it. Otherwise, I like to figure things out myself between me and Father. Maybe experiment a little with stuff and see what works best for me. Some people believe it's community and family and their group that makes them strong, and maybe it is for them. I don't think it means I'm broken because I enjoy being independent. I think it just means people are different, and it doesn't even mean we always do the same thing the same way. Some family members helped me when we were moving, and oh, that was very appreciated. Just a little unexpected because I planned everything, but it all worked out perfectly. I'm never truly alone anyway. Father God is always here. I'm not your mainstream traditional Christian anymore, and he didn't leave me when I stopped going to church. I talked to him about everything. I even heard him talk to me once. That was wild. That's another story. Usually he just talks to me in other ways, and he's got a great sense of humor. But quite a lot he uses musical ways. Like sometimes he'll plop a song into my head, and when I wake up, it's playing in the background in my mind over and over until I pay attention and notice it. A few times it's turned into a scavenger hunt for me to figure out what the song is, because it's either so old or not something I listen to. And when I figure out what the song is, then I have to Google the lyrics. It's crazy when I finally get the whole message. It's like a mix of feeling and lyrics, and it clicks perfectly with what's happening in my life right then. When I get it, the message, it's like whoosh, all through me. Not just understanding it, but like my whole body gets it. And it's always hits the nail on the head in ways I hadn't thought of. I love that. Even though my daddy was a pastor and I was raised in church, church eventually seemed to get in the way. Like I'd be standing in worship service and me and Father are really connecting, but suddenly it's time to sit down and do the next part of church. It's too orchestrated, and that broke my heart. I had to leave. I've tried a few random times since, but same thing. So I'd rather stay gone from church than try to tame this absolutely natural thing me and Father have going on. It's too important. Anyway, so the last few years, I've been learning how to live without a partner. I had no idea how much of everyday life that one event changes. Pretty much every moment of every day. So, while I'm learning how to live day to day, I'm also learning who I am and how all the things in my life went together to make me into this person. I gradually accepted things in the past just as they were and how they happened, and I began to appreciate and even love this person. I basically created this person through every decision between me and Father. Who knew all those years of life were creating me? So while getting to know me, I took a Myers-Briggs personality test. Then a few days later, I took an IQ test. Not to elevate my ego or even to crush it, but wow, what an eye-opener those tests were. I think now that all my life I only had a vague idea of who I am. We're so much more intricate than we know. I researched a lot of details I didn't understand at first. It was like gradually meeting a whole new person, and it was myself, someone I've never known, apparently. Absolutely amazing, every step of it. Lots of memories would pop up while I was doing this get to know myself, and I'd suddenly understand why I did these things or that thing in the past. It made perfect sense now. None of it was just, oh, well, that was me. No, there were reasons behind everything. So that's been cool. I think I've enjoyed meeting me and getting to know her. I've always struggled to like myself, and now I'm coming to love me. Not in a selfish way, just in an appreciation of the work that went into me. Nothing was wasted or meaningless, not even the painful things. It's like me and Father have been painting this amazing picture, and it's taken all my life to do it. Now I can see it. And yeah, it's really cool. Oh. And through memories, I figured out that my husband knew me better than I knew myself. He'd randomly ask me things like, "What's going on?" And he'd have that look like he was trying to look into my head and understand me. Or he'd say, "Sit down here." And when I did, he'd ask, "Why are you sad?" I didn't even realize I was sad till he pointed it out. There were other things too, and it always surprised me because, well, I was too busy to stop and notice my own state of mind. My focus was on my kids, my family, my home, my job, everything but me. I think responsible adults tend to do that. It's a wonderful thing to be loved like that, to have someone want to see me intimately. I was so absent-mindedly secure in it, though, that maybe it enabled me to be quite lazy about me. Everything was more important. Now I know why he began to consistently ask me, very pointedly, what I wanted in various things. He'd even refused to make the decision when I wouldn't. It was mine to decide. I'm thankful for that practice. And now, well, the decisions are up to me all the time. So I have to know myself, or I won't survive. Who's going to pay attention if I don't? I knew I was privileged in love. Maybe I was spoiled. But now, along with grieving, I have to do all this work to get to know me, someone I'm stuck with for the rest of my life. That made me pretty pissed off, especially at this stage in life. Well, it has taken time. and it probably will continue. Oh, and let me tell you, this inner learning, it's sometimes terrifying. And here's a little story about that. We had a motorhome, and I took the girls to see relatives a few months after he passed. Driving it and handling it wasn't a big deal to me. I did that a lot. But it was that first night in the bed out there on the road without my best friend, my protector. And all of a sudden, I was terrified. I curled into a fetal position, shaking and inwardly screaming. I couldn't scream out loud. That would have scared the girls. So yeah, there were things inside me I had no clue. I mean, what the heck? I had planned to go to grief counseling in the beginning. I just couldn't do it. I tried that when I was divorcing my first husband. I stopped after 3 tries. It was going to take way too long for a therapist to catch up with my life to get anywhere meaningful. So, Google was my therapist, and eventually a few AI agents. They're actually eye-opening and helpful. Oh, and there was that part about dealing with cancer. That one really pissed me off. Talk about life's not fair, especially just 9 months after my husband passed. But even that I did differently. I did have 4 operations, 3 chemo treatments, and 8 radiation treatments. But I was supposed to get more. No, I didn't finish the protocol the doctors picked for me. But that's another story. I learned how really important it is to trust my gut, my intuition. I can't ignore it now. Not at all. So I'm learning to create podcasts to share my stories. They're all about learning and growing and surviving in spite of trauma or grief or all the other kinds of tragedies life threw at me. But remember this. I'm telling my stories from my experiences. This is not advice. I'm not recommending anyone do life the way I have. I do hope you enjoyed my story. And if you did, please subscribe, like, and leave me a comment. I truly appreciate you all very much.